Good morning, everybody. I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama. It's a quiet morning for once out here in Jurassic Park. So let's talk about how to set everything up so that you can go on vacation if you have chickens. Now that our trips are done, I've got a list of some things that you can plan for if you're going to be going out of town, if you're going to be leaving your chickens for a while, some things that you can have in place. I know, at least for us, before I jump into the content, we love our chickens. They are an important part of our family and of our house, but they're not our entire life. So we are going to be gone sometimes. So let's break it down. The three main things that I think you need to have for your chickens, for your chicken coop, for your chicken run, if you're going to be going out of town, if you're leaving, for whatever reason, you're not going to be around to take care of your chickens. The three main things are, you need to have somebody that you trust who can come over and check on the chickens every once in a while. And I'll talk about what I have my chicken sitter do for me. The second is that you've got some medical things in place. You have a medical kit, which is sort of like, that's what I call my chicken first aid kit. And you have vets and things in the area in case that chicken sitter needs something. And the third thing is that I have everything automated as much as possible. So I'm going to kind of be a bad teacher today and talk out of order. So let's talk about all of the things that are automated. By that, I mean, let's see how many things I can either have extra of, or it's an automatic door, or it's an automatic something, so that, let's say your chicken sitter doesn't show up, or, you know, there's inclement weather or something like that, your chickens are still taken care of. So by automated, I think about everything that they need. So that's, they have plenty of extra food, they have plenty of extra water, and I automate everything else that I can. You can automate coop doors, you can automate lights, you can automate misters and sprinklers if you're somewhere that's hot. So I have all of those systems in place. That way, in case something crazy happens and my chicken sitter can't come over, or they forget, or they flake out, you know, or whatever, excuse the noise, then my chickens are still taken care of. Nobody's going to starve or anything like that. So I did a video not too long ago, I'll link it up here, that was talking about all of the different water systems that I've used for my chickens. I just call them waterers, that are, you know, I mean, the different buckets and the different nozzles and cups and things like that for the chickens to drink out of. So I have, especially in the summer months when we do most of our traveling, I have easily 10 or 12 gallons of water out over 4 different containers. That way, if one gets poop in it, or one gets knocked over, or whatever, the chickens have plenty of water, even if someone's not going to come and check on them for a day or two. Same thing with feed. For 3 chickens, that's about 10 pounds of feed within those 2 feeders there. I only have to fill that up like less than once a week, but I have both of them out and I top both of them off before I go out of town. I'll also say, you can see this other video here, I do add herbs into my chickens' feed, things like cayenne, basil, garlic. They have benefits for the chickens, but the reason I bring that up now is because when I'm gone, and there's not like the human presence out here as much, I know we have mice and rats in the area and squirrels, and if they get assertive enough, they may come in and try to eat the food. But having things like cayenne, red pepper flakes, or chili powder in your chicken's food, the chickens can't taste it, so they don't care. But it hurts the parasites that your chickens may have internally, and it will also deter those pests who might come in and try to eat the feed. So you can even sprinkle, and I talk about this, kind of overlaps into my gardening content, you can even sprinkle one of those spices that has capsaicin in it, a seasoning that is, to us, that is spicy. Again, red pepper flakes, chili powder, or cayenne. Sprinkle it around the feed. Again, that would deter, if you're going to be gone for a while and you want to make sure somebody else doesn't come in and eat all of your chicken feed, you can do stuff like that. So finally, when we're talking about automating, I have used an automatic chicken coop door for years, and I will probably never be without one. We're happy with ours. It's not anything fancy or anything like that, but I replace the batteries if we're going to be gone for a while, just to make sure that that thing doesn't croak. But again, my chickens have water outside the coop. They have food and water inside the coop. The automatic coop door, I use it every day just because I don't have to come out here at a certain time, or come out here at a certain time again at night to let the birds in and out. And I know that they are safe. It's a solid metal door, so it keeps them safe. And of course, now they are trained. So that's all of the automation. Plenty of extra food, plenty of extra water. Again, if you use a sprinkler or a mister like I do, that's on a timer that's not going to run out of battery or anything like that. And then I'm a big advocate for the coop door. It's okay. It's okay. Lenore gets freaked out when all of this stuff is blowing around. So let's talk about the medical kit. That should be pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't seen this video, it's one of my more popular ones. This is my just in case kit. It's my insurance kit. I had chickens for 5 years before one of them ever got attacked by an animal. It was a freak accident, and I've never had a chicken be injured or attacked since. But now I have all of the things in place in case something crazy happens, which in my opinion, you know, if you care about your chickens, and let's be honest, you're on YouTube looking up videos, then you probably go above that bare minimum of, you know, I just throw some food and hope that they don't die. So I suggest you have these things. They're not expensive. And if you're new to my channel, I hate telling people that you have to buy a whole bunch of stuff, because you don't. But I do have these things or something like it in the medical kit. And basically you want to have like gauze, like a non-stick bandage, just cotton squares. I have this self-adhesive wrap that you can use for anything from wounds to like a sprayed ankle, the kind of stuff that just, you know, you just squeeze it and it sticks to itself. I have Vetericin. Vetericin is a wound cleaning spray. It's basically like for us, hydrogen peroxide, but hydrogen peroxide is way too harsh on a chicken's raw flesh. Like if they get, you know, cut up by something, the hydrogen peroxide is too harsh. It'll give them a chemical burn. So Vetericin, and then I have some other things in there as well. But I have a medical kit ready to go that, you know, that your chicken sitter has access to. And then if you choose to, I have all of the local vets listed, including, this is the one that's 24-hour. This is the one that sees chickens, because I also have dogs. And have that. You can even tape that and put it on your medical kit. The medical kit, if you're going to keep it out where your chickens are, you know, like when you're out of town, I would put it in like a plastic bin or in a Ziploc, something that's not going to get wet. And then you can even have everything labeled and have that vet information inside that medical kit. And this is just a just in case thing. Of course, like with all my videos, you just pick and choose what works for you. So the last thing is having someone to come and check on your chickens. This is where it can get, in my opinion, like really personal. For example, when we were gone for 6 days, and mostly we had somebody come and check because it is Texas summer. It is well over 100 degrees. It is a problem here. And I have lost chickens to the heat, unfortunately. While I had a chicken sitter this summer, one of my hens, Lavender, passed away just suddenly, and we think it was heat related. So when I have a chicken sitter come over, I pay them basically to freeze fruit. They chopped up watermelon and threw it in their freezer, and then they would bring over frozen watermelon every day. They would bring frozen water, like ice or ice bottles like I use every day. And then they would basically just come over in the afternoon when it was hot, check on the chickens, give them those frozen treats, take attendance, right? Just count and make sure everybody's alive and okay. I paid her cash, but I also paid her in eggs. So she would come and collect the eggs every day. You certainly don't have to have somebody come and check on your chickens. I just do because the summers here are so damn hot, and because she and I are old friends. Our kids are all old friends, and the kids like to come and get to play with the chickens when they're chicken sitting. So again, those 3 main things that I do is I automate or have excess out of everything as a just in case. To me, it, like, you know, it's honestly the risk of, or the work that it costs me to put out extra food and water is very minimal. But if I came back and I realized that all of my chickens died from dehydration, I would feel absolutely terrible. So it's worth it to me just to put out extra food and water. It's worth it to me to have a medical kit ready to go, to have all of the tools and supplies out. My chicken sitters, they don't have access to my house. I don't let them in my home. So I have everything out here in case they needed something. It's out here where the chickens are. And then finally, having a person who can go and check on the chickens. Let's say you guys have a crazy windstorm or there's a ton of rain or something like that. You've got somebody who has been trained in all things chicken at your house. So they know how to get in. They know, you know, this is where the extra food is. They know, like, you have to lock the food back up. For example, my chicken sitter knows all these things. So the other thing that I've done is I've actually just made videos for my chicken sitter in the past. If you have a YouTube account, you can publish it as a private video or unlisted video on your account and give your friend that link. And that way your friend can see it and the video's uploaded on YouTube forever, but obviously it's not public. Nobody else can see it. But that way you can do like, okay, and this is how you come in and you have to make sure that this is locked, and then I check eggs, and then I do this, and this is how you turn on the water. This is where their food should be. You should have this many chickens, blah, 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 blah. I have this content in my chicken tenders journal as well, which is like just your log for all things chicken. You can see that link to purchase that down in the video description. But you could also, you know, of course, always send pictures and videos to your chicken sitter so that they kind of know where everything is. They know how many they're counting and all of those things. So my girls are finishing up their grubblies, but as you get used to traveling and you've got chickens, those are just some things to think about. I'm sure, as always, I didn't think of every single thing. So if you've got helpful suggestions or if you've got questions, my email address is here, and you can also drop those suggestions down in the video comments. Thanks, guys.